Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I'm convinced the Golden Bachelorettes Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple are deceiving Bachelor Nation. They're playing their relationship up to be less of a showmance. The Golden Bachelorette stars Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple have only been public for a few weeks, but I'm already convinced they're deceiving Bachelor Nation after their showmance was called out for being fake. Joan and Chock's relationship, which formed over the course of the Golden Bachelorette season, one's short filming schedule, has pushed Bachelor Nation to question their connection. Though the pair had a relationship that was sweet to watch develop on screen, Bachelor Nation has struggled with the way Chock behaved toward Joan and the rest of the Golden Bachelorette cast throughout the season, as he was isolated. While Chock's behavior has been tough for viewers to grasp throughout the season, it's clear that his behavior wasn't a red flag for Joan throughout the season and in the aftermath as she watched the show back. Chock consistently isolated himself from the rest of the Golden Bachelorette cast, focusing on his relationship with Joan even when he wasn't with her. Though some found this a likable quality, others were concerned that his commitment to her was overwhelming and assumed that he may be love-bombing Joan. While Chock and Joan have been building their relationship, I'm concerned they're tricking everyone. Although the Golden Bachelorette season 1 wasn't easy on Joan and Chock, who spent their time after the show apart and waited until the season's end to reveal their romance, the postseason has proven more difficult for the pair. Joan and Chock's time on screen was only a portion of their relationship, and watching through the lens of the Golden Bachelorette made it seem like there was more going on than met the eye. Joan's connection with Chock seemed difficult to manage on screen, but it was clearly something that resonated with Joan, as she was happy with her decision. By the time the Golden Bachelorette season ended, Bachelor Nation understood that Joan was choosing Chock, but struggled to see why she was making that decision. With Joan and Chock's relationship moving quickly, the pair have shared a lot of content online post-show. Joan has been particularly vocal about her relationship with Chock, explaining on Instagram that she's been excited to bring Chock into her daily life. As she's posted more about their relationship, Bachelor Nation has been more and more curious about how genuine their connection is, as it's been seeming like more of a showmance than a romance. Although Joan and Chock seem to have a real connection, their relationship could be more of a showmance than a romance. Joan, who dated through a group of guys before narrowing things to Chock, was hesitant about her decision as she moved toward the end of the season. While she knew that she had feelings for Chock, she wasn't exactly sure that she wanted to move forward with the Kansas native as she got closer to the end of the season. Joan's affinity for Chock was always there, but she struggled to feel confident in choosing him at the end. Although Joan and Chock finally were able to bring their romance into the public eye, their relationship has surprisingly seemed like a lot less of a genuine romance now that they're not on TV. Joan and Chock's romance has seemed like a showmance since the end of the Golden Bachelorette, as the couple has been outwardly sharing more and more about their relationship, making it seem less genuine. Joan's relationship with Chock has been public fodder for her online persona, which doesn't always read as genuine to Bachelor Nation. It feels like they're trying to prove their love is real. While Joan has come across as an attention seeker in her way, sharing a ton of content about her relationship with Chock on social media, there's been some attention-seeking behavior from both sides of the relationship. Chock's not immune to using his relationship with Joan for clout either. While he's been sharing things online, Chock has also been using his influence on Joan, pushing her to be interested in having more of a public life. While Joan had shown resistance to having a live TV wedding in the past, she may be opening up to the idea because of Chock's interest. Although Joan and Chock are doing everything they can to prove their relationship is a genuine one, it feels more to me like the pair are trying to disguise their showmance as a real romance. Joan's consistent online posts, along with Chock's interest in continuing to be on screen and in public, makes it clear that the pair want to be seen in public, which bodes more for their relationship being a showmance than a romance. It's been a whirlwind season of The Golden Bachelorette, with Joan Vassos' grace and wit lighting up our screens alongside the steady charm of Chock Chapple. At first glance, their connection seems as genuine as the sunrise over a Mediterranean villa, natural, warm, and full of promise. But after weeks of subtle observations, side-eye glances, and a little digging, I'm convinced that Joan and Chock are pulling the wool over Bachelor Nation's eyes. There's more to their relationship than meets the eye, and dare I say it, they may be playing their love story up to be less of a showmance than it actually is. Let's break it down. The instant chemistry, that felt too perfect. From the moment Chock stepped out of the limo, his connection with Joan felt almost scripted. Sure, he's got the stubborn gentleman act down to an art, and Joan, ever poised, knows how to respond with the right amount of coyness to make sparks fly. But wasn't it all just a little too easy? Their first conversation was flawless, their laughs perfectly timed, and their shared dreams of travel seemed tailor-made to tug at the heartstrings of a reality TV audience hungry for romance. But here's the thing. Authentic connections are rarely that polished, especially on night one. Compare their interaction to Joan's early moments with Guy Gansard, who stumbled over his words but seemed genuinely smitten. Chock, on the other hand, delivered his lines like a seasoned actor who'd rehearsed his role for weeks. Was this truly love at first sight? Or was it the kind of chemistry born from a mutual understanding that they'd make an excellent reality TV power couple? The hometown date that raised eyebrows. Fast forward to the hometown dates, and Chock's family rolled out the red carpet for Joan. There were heartfelt speeches, warm embraces, and a meticulously planned dinner that felt more like a segment from a Hallmark movie than an unscripted visit. Joan fit in seamlessly, almost as if she'd been prepped on exactly how to charm Chock's loved ones. What's more suspicious is the way Chock's family gushed about Joan, calling her a perfect match within minutes of meeting her. Real families, no matter how supportive, usually have a healthy dose of skepticism when meeting someone their loved one might propose to after a whirlwind TV romance. But there were no probing questions, no awkward pauses, just unbridled enthusiasm. It's as if they were in on the act, playing their part to sell the love story to America. The contrived conflict. No Bachelor Nation love story is complete without a little drama, and Joan and Chock's conflict felt as manufactured as a daytime soap opera plotline. In a mid-season episode, Chock expressed doubts about whether Joan was ready for another serious relationship after the heartbreak she'd endured. Joan, in turn, questioned whether Chock's easygoing demeanor masked a reluctance to commit. On paper, this should have been a pivotal moment that revealed their vulnerabilities and deepened their bond. Instead, it played out like a poorly scripted scene designed to add tension where there was none. Their heart-to-heart resolved the issue so neatly and quickly that it felt like they'd rehearsed the conversation in advance. Real-life conflicts are messy, unresolved, and often leave lingering doubts. Not so for Joan and Chock, whose drama seemed tailor-made to keep their narrative arc on track. The strategic use of vulnerability. One of the most compelling aspects of Joan and Chock's storyline is their willingness to open up about their pasts. Joan has spoken candidly about the challenges of moving on after losing her husband, while Chock has shared his journey of finding love again after a painful divorce. These moments have endeared them to viewers, painting them as two people who truly deserve a second chance at happiness. But here's the kicker. Their vulnerability feels almost too perfectly timed. Every emotional revelation comes at a moment when their connection needs a boost, either to win over skeptical castmates or to secure a coveted rose. It's as if they've studied the Bachelor playbook and know exactly when to drop a heartfelt confession to keep the audience rooting for them. Genuine vulnerability is raw and unpredictable, not a well-timed plot device. The social media clues. If you're not already convinced, let's take a look at the post-filming social media activity. Both Joan and Chock have been uncharacteristically tight-lipped about their relationship status, fueling speculation that they're still together. But their cryptic posts and carefully curated photos feel less like a couple trying to keep their romance under wraps and more like two people building anticipation for a big reveal.